Hi y'all, Jason Ricci back for Free Fridays. I got me a C Honer Marine Band, customized by Tom Halchek at Blue Moon Harmonicas. And today we're gonna be learning about arpeggiating 6 chords. When we listen to traditional blues harmonica, a lot of it is based on piano boogie-woogie and left-hand bass lines that come from bass players and piano players. And a lot of times, all they're doing is walking up and down each note of each chord in the song in sequence, just up and down and down, back and forth. Let's take a look at the first chord. Today, we're arpeggiating 6 chords. 6 chords are the sort of the prettier, nicer, softer, jazzier chords that are often used in jazz and blues. We mostly hear 6 chords and 7th chords and sometimes 9th chords when we're listening to jazz and blues, and a whole bunch of other ones, but those are the big ones. So you have your major triad, which is your first 3 notes of the 1 chord. 2 draw, 3 draw, and 4 draw. We have the root note, 2 draw, the major third, which happens to be on the 3 draw, and then the 5th, 4 draw. You don't have to know the names of them, it's just 2 draw, 3 draw, and 4 draw. And then all we're going to do is add the 6th note of the major scale, which is the 5 blow in this case. A G6 chord. Nice because it's 4 notes and a bar is 4 beats. I could play 1 note per beat, quarter note, and get a good count while not actually having to count. One of the challenges of the harmonica is we can't use our mouth to say 1, 2, 3, 4, or even to mimic that. Like you'll watch a drummer and they'll be actually counting with their mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. It helps to do that. You can't do that on a harmonica, because obviously we're using our mouth to play. Having 1 note per beat helps us count. Without thinking, I'm counting 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Or rather, I'm feeling 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And that gives me my 1 chord arpeggio. Now I can add an octave of G by playing 6 blow. So if I wanted, instead of starting from the bottom and going up and starting from the bottom and going up like I was just doing, I could actually go up to the octave of G, 6 blow, same note as the 2 draw, just an octave higher, and then walk back down. Now I'm putting 2 bars together. That gives me 2 bars, 1 walking up and then 1 walking down from the octave. Up, down. So I'm going 2 draw, 3 draw, 4 draw, 5 blow, 6 blow, then back down to 5 blow, back down to 4 draw, back down to 3 draw, and then resolving at the root 2 draw. So on a typical blues, that arpeggio will happen 4 times, meaning I will play the G6 chord arpeggio 4 times. And then I'll change. If you'd like to see an altered version of that, check out my video on the quick 4. that's a quick four change. I have an entire video on it called What's a Quick Four? It will be linked at the end of this video. Now let's move to the 4 chord. So we're going to do exactly the same thing that we did on the 1 chord in G, except in this case, we're going to do it in the key of C or on the chord of C. So this would be the same thing as playing a G6 chord, except we're going to be playing a C6 chord. So one way you could look at it, how to arpeggiate a C6 chord in first position. So I'm going to go 1 blow, 2 blow. I'm going to use 2 draw in this case. I could use 3 blow, but I'm going to use 2 draw, and then 3 double bend. I can go up to the octave of 4 blow. And get the complete arpeggio up and down. Let's put them together. So here we have 4 bars of a G6 arpeggio, or walking bass line, and then 2 bars of a C6 arpeggio, or the 4 chord, also walked like a bass line. So that would bring us to bars 8 and 9 in a 12-bar blues. For bars 8 and 9, all we have to do is return back to the 1 chord or the G6 arpeggio. The same thing we learned earlier. Let's put together that with what we have so far. 1 chord. That brings us to bar 9, or the 5 chord. Here we're going to have to use a little bit of bending. Let's take a look at what notes, what holes, and what bends on the harmonica to achieve a D6 arpeggio. So there's our major triad. 1 draw, 2 draw half-step bend, and then 3 double bend. That gives us the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th note of the chord. And then I could add the 6th D6 arpeggio. 3 draw. So you might be thinking, well, that's really hard to go from a 2 draw half step bend to a 3 draw double bend. Here's the good news. It only sounds hard. I'm not saying it's not difficult, but it's easier than you might think it is, because in my experience, the amount of bending that it takes to get the 2 draw bent to half step, that note right there, is the exact same embouchure in bending torque that it takes to bend 3 double bend. So you really, if you just move from your 2 draw bend position to the 3 hole, you'll arrive at a perfectly in tuned 3 double bend. Or almost perfectly in tune. 1 draw, 2 half step bend, 3 double bend, 3 draw. I can add the octave, 4 draw. Now there's only 1 bar of 5, so I can't walk up and back down on a standard blues. I can just go up or down. Or Now you just return back to the 4 chord on bar 10 for 4 beats or 1 bar. And then return back to the 1 chord for the final remaining 2 bars of 1. Let's do the whole thing. 1, 4, and 5. 12-bar blues. Let's check it out. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Here on the second time around, I just started changing the rhythm. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I might play something like a 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, a 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 3 and 4 and 4, 4, like that kind of stuff. So it's just the same notes. I'm just changing the rhythm, right? Right, and I can add octaves of the other notes. Like right there, I just added the 7 draw, which is an octave of 3 draw. Super fun. There's your 6 chord arpeggios. Let's go back to Butternote Music jam tracks that I started with in the beginning, and let's just listen to what the bass line here is doing and see if we can imitate it. I'll try. Wow, I did it. So anyway, so that's the same arpeggio we just learned with a little bit of improvisation in its sequence. So instead of just going, it goes. The great thing about learning music and learning like what makes up a chord and stuff is it really takes away the possibilities of what it could be. You can recognize it as a 6th chord, and then we know the notes that are in a 6th chord from watching these videos and studying music and listening to people talk about music and reading about it. But then I know that there's only those 4 notes in the chord, so then I can just figure out, well, how are they changing the order of them? Really, by the process of elimination, I can figure out what I need to do. Anyway, that's arpeggiating 6 chords. I'm going to take you out by doing some improvisational soloing based on 6 chords. So I'm only going to use notes in the 6th chord because we don't want to just play like bass players for our whole life. We want to be able to solo. And one of the great things about learning to arpeggiate chords is it's another way to solo besides scales. We can use those scales to influence the way we arpeggiate, and we can use our arpeggiating to influence the way we play scales. It's just this one giant cyclical building wonderful thing that we call music and we call learning, and we never get it, and we're always working at it the rest of our lives, and it's a whole lot of fun. Let's have some more fun. Everybody for tuning in to Free Fridays right here on YouTube. Subscribe today. Click the subscribe button for hundreds of free harmonica lessons. If you like what I'm putting down and you'd like to support the cause, go the extra mile, be sure to visit my Patreon page. Patreon patrons, thank you very much. You're making these lessons an absolute priority in my life, no matter how busy I get. A free lesson happens every Friday. For as low as $1 a month, that's 25 cents a lesson, you can become a Patreon patron. If you're doing a little better and you can donate more, that's great. Every time you become a Patreon patron, you're helping somebody else out there that doesn't have a credit card, that doesn't have $1 a month, to continue to get free harmonica instruction and much, much more. Remember, we got product reviews here on this channel. We do videos on addiction and bipolar disorder. We got blues stories. We got performance videos and everything right here on Jason Ricci's YouTube. Subscribe today. I'd like to thank Honer Harmonicas, and I'd like to thank Blue Moon Harmonicas, making custom parts for any harmonica that you might have at home. Blue Moon has got you. The Lone Wolf Blues Company, pedals, amplifiers, microphones, you name it, much more. Right here out of Louisiana, the Lone Wolf Blues Company is bringing you the best in customer service for almost any kind of amplified blues harmonica needs that you may have. Speaking of amplifiers, Harp Gear amplifiers, check them out. The very best Harp Gear, right out of Ocala, Florida. I got a website, www.mooncat.org. Check me out on mooncat.org. I got tour dates happening all over the place. I'm going all over the country this year, playing tour dates with J.J. Appleton, with Damon Fowler, with J.P. Soares, with my own band, with Joe Crown, all kinds of people. www.mooncat.org. T-shirts, lesson information, all of that. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. We do this every single Friday, and then every now and then I throw you some more stuff right here at Jason Ricci's YouTube. A Mooncat, love and appreciate all y'all. Thank you.